Welcome back to AVLOKAN IAS. In this video, let's learn about the issue between India and Pakistan on Sir Creek. Recently, India issued a strong warning to Pakistan, cautioning against any misadventure near Sir Creek, a message that drew global attention. But what exactly is Sir Creek? Why it has remained disputed for decades, and what prompted India's sharp warning now? Sir Creek lies in the run of Kutch region between India's Gujarat and Pakistan's Sindh provinces. It stretches nearly 96 kilometers, a narrow, muddy and estuary of the Indus Delta. Indus Delta. But the catch here is the course isn't fixed. The course of Sir Creek isn't fixed. Let me show you the picture of the course. Yes, here it is. This is the course of Sir Creek, which isn't fixed. It changes and it keeps shifting with tides and sediment, and this is where the problem begins. India claims that the boundary line should run along the mid-channel following Tholeg principle. Tholeg principle. Meaning the line passes through the deepest part of the channel, while Pakistan, on the other hand, claims the boundary lies along the eastern bank, effectively granting it over the entire creek. This isn't just about few kilometers of marsh. The starting point of the land here determines the maritime boundary, which in turn affects thousands of square kilometers of exclusive economic zone. Wait a minute. If it's the exclusive economic zone, which is potential of oil and gas reserves. To understand this issue completely, we need to dive back to 1914, when the government of Bombay issued a resolution demarcating the boundary between the princely states of Kutch and Sindh, then the part of British India. That document, however, contained contradictory language. It is ambiguous and not complete. One clause placed the boundary line east of the creek, while another referred to the Tholeg principle. When India and Pakistan were created in 1947, they inherited this confusion. Later, during the run of Kutch conflict in 1965, the broader boundary dispute reached an international tribunal. The tribunal resolved much of it in 1968, but no final demarcation has been achieved. You might wonder, why does a small creek still matters in 2025? Because under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, the land boundary terminus decides where you start drawing your maritime zones. A difference of even 1 kilometer here can shift the sea boundary line significantly, impacting exclusive economic zone claims, fishing rights, and the potential offshore energy blocks. Moreover, the area also influences naval security. Naval security. It sits close to vital shipping lanes and Pakistan's Karachi port. Hence, Sir Creek isn't just about maps, it's about maritime strategy, economy, and national security. National security. Now, let's dive into the recent escalation and why India wants Pakistan. In past few months, India observed increased Pakistani activity in the Sir Creek region. Near Sir Creek region, reports of new posts, infrastructure construction, and military presence. Indian defense officials believe this could be an attempt to alter the status quo to strengthen Pakistani control over disputed territory by creating facts on the ground. In response, our Defense Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh issued a strong statement warning Pakistan that any misadventure in Sir Creek would lead to a response that could change history and geography. This isn't just rhetoric, it's a deterrent message signaling that India considers Sir Creek part of its core territorial integrity and will act firmly if provoked. Such warnings serve three purposes and it aimed to deter Pakistan military, to reassure Indian citizens of strong national defense, and to alert global community that the region's stability is being challenged. How does such a dispute actually gets resolved? Under international law, nations can delimit boundaries using bilateral talks, joint technical surveys, or third-party arbitration. It actually means international arbitration, like the ICJ or UNCLOS tribunals. Here, India prefers bilateral approach, meaning bilateral resolution, keeping outside interference minimal. Pakistan at times has shown interest in international arbitration. However, because the creek itself keeps changing shape with tides, even an agreed upon line would need constant monitoring, adding to the complexity. Amid all this geopolitics, thousands of fishermen on both sides face daily uncertainty. Since the border is unclear, many Indian and Pakistani fishermen unintentionally cross into each other's waters and end up arrested. Their boats are seized, families wait years for their release. So, beyond maps and diplomacy, Sir Creek is also a humanitarian issue about livelihoods, security, and mutual trust, mutual trust between coastal communities. If tensions rise in Sir Creek, the consequences go far beyond the marshes. Domestically, India would need to increase coastal surveillance, strengthen navy and coast guard, and secure maritime assets. Regionally, any instability could affect shipping lanes, trade insurance rates, and energy exploration in the Arabian Sea. Globally, countries with economic stakes in South Asia, especially Gulf nations, would prefer calm over confrontation. This is why recent warning by India is both a signal of deterrence and a call for de-escalation to ensure stability in the world's most sensitive maritime frontiers. Experts believe the best path is renewed dialogue and technical cooperation and not conflict. Both nations could resume joint hydrographic surveys to fix the set up fishermen coordination mechanisms, agree on hotlines between borders, forces to prevent misunderstandings which affects the fishermen. Confidence building steps like these have worked before and can again reduce friction without compromising sovereignty. And the India's message here is Though it is a warning, India has made one thing clear. While it prefers peace and negotiation, any unilateral attempt to change the ground reality will invite a strong response. It is a classical example of deterrence with restraint, ensuring security while keeping diplomatic doors open. Creek might look like just another tidal channel on the map, but it represents a century old puzzle of colonial legacies, shifting geography, and strategic realities. The recent flare up shows how even small border issue can evolve into tests of diplomacy and deterrence. For now, the world watches as India stands firm on protecting its maritime frontiers and Pakistan faces pressure to avoid provocation. Because in geopolitics, sometimes a few meters of march can decide the balance of power across oceans. So, this is what I have to say. If you find this video fruitful, please like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.